Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. The Bigger Picture, only on Money FM 89.3.
Good morning. Welcome to The Bigger Picture with me, Audrey Siek. And today we focus on innovation, particularly in the sustainable finance space. While global ESG momentum may be slowing, especially with renewed uncertainty around climate commitments, Southeast Asia is holding steady and in many ways leading the charge. CGS International's latest sustainability report shows how innovation is being used to embed ESG across businesses, from new integration frameworks to real progress on emissions tracking and inclusive finance. Joining us now to share how all of this comes together is Kevin Lee, Group Head of Sustainability at CGS International. Kevin, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Happy to be here.
Thank you. Well, despite global headwinds in ESG, Southeast Asia's sustainable finance market is still going pretty strong. So to kick us off, what do you think Southeast Asia is getting right that other regions seem to be struggling with?
Maybe to put it in perspective, ASEAN is a region where it's very climate exposed. A lot of our coastal cities and industries are maybe subjected to things like sea level rise. On the biodiversity end, you have 1/3 of ASEAN's marine and coastal habitats. The world's habitats are actually in ASEAN region. So, which means that industries that are nature exposed, like the food industries, are also exposed to biodiversity risks. So I think it's because of these risks. That's why there's a growing interest in sustainable finance. Actually, if you look at ESG AUM, assets under management by region, Europe is by far the largest in the world, followed a distant second by US, and the rest of the world is a distant third. So if you look at ASEAN, it's really just, I would say, less than 5%. But that 5% means that there's a lot of uplift in terms of growth, where sustainable funds can actually flow in and be directed to climate change or biodiversity.
So we have a particular need to turn to sustainability. What are some of the biggest challenges in embedding sustainability deeply into financial services, especially in a region as diverse as ASEAN?
Well, I think it would be more so about the coverage of ESG data. So if you compare to the more developed markets in US and Europe, where a lot of companies are disclosing their ESG data, so those are very publicly available. But in this ASEAN region it's just catching on for the past few years, but there's so much to be done. So that's why you see a lot of governments in Singapore, Malaysia, and also our neighbors, Indonesia and Thailand, recognizing this and slowly putting mandatory disclosures for listed companies to put up their ESG data. So I think with more ESG data, the capital markets are more informed of what the listed companies are doing. And by measuring, right, it sort of sets competition among companies of doing well over time.
Yeah, and you've also noted that sustainability isn't just about compliance, like something that we have to do, a box we have to tick. It's a business advantage as well. So can you share how this mindset kind of shapes strategies, market expansion, and product development?
Yeah, so I think in this region, there was a shift in terms of mindset. So previously, companies were doing good more from the CSR angle, the corporate social responsibility angle. But I think there was a shift somewhere during pandemic where they saw how finance could actually move sustainability issues, could address issues like climate change and biodiversity. And that's where financial institutions are seeing that how do we incentivize companies to do good, as well as returns. Yeah, so you do see financial institutions, they give good preferential lending rate for companies who have good ESG performance. So I think that's where the finance sector is very exciting, trying to do its part in terms of moving companies to be more responsible.
Yeah. All right. There's also been a focus on inclusion and diversification. So what kind of demand are you seeing for innovation and these kind of products? And how are they helping businesses tap into new or underserved markets?
So I think peculiar to ASEAN would be the huge Muslim population. So I think close to 40-45% of ASEAN's population are Muslim. They do have a Sharia law which governs how they should invest, and the whole concept is about preservation of wealth. So in this region, particularly where we have offices in Malaysia and Indonesia with a huge Muslim population, they are investing towards companies that deliver goods. So they actually exclude companies that are, let's say, in the gambling sector, those that lend to social ills, so to say. Yeah, but they also are increasingly, adding, besides that, also other what you call value-based investing. So besides social ills, they are also trying to include the environmental side of it. So things are a bit shifting. So I would say that with inclusion would be more, how do we include the huge Muslim population to get them to invest more responsibly? And I think that's what CGS International, in particular, our Malaysian office, is doing well. We have actually seen our Sharia investing products increase, I think, 2 to 3-fold from last year when we started to put more focus on it.
Okay. Well, some major concerns have also come up globally, like trust and greenwashing have become major concerns. How do we ensure that sustainability claims are credible?
Yeah, so I think that's where we need best practices, and that's where you look at frameworks and principles of how do you invest, how do you disclose your sustainability data. So I think there's so many standards out there. I think finally it's all harmonizing into one, into a language where investors can understand, financial institutions can understand. So it's coming out with a harmonized standard that enables that.
And looking ahead, Kevin, what do you think will be the next frontier in sustainable finance for Asia?
I would say it would be more blended finance. So I think traditionally people have been investing more on the private space or in the public space. But as the word suggests, blended, I think increasingly governments are, recognizing that philanthropists come in to provide donation monies directed towards sustainability outcomes, and also concessional lending from multilateral agencies like the World Bank or ADB. Getting more actors in it for blended finance.
All right, blended finance, the next frontier. And Kevin Lee, the group head of sustainability at CGS International, was giving us a closer look at how innovation is powering real, credible change in sustainable finance in Asia. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Lots more to come on the show. Stay with us on Money FM 89.3.
Before acting on the information on Money FM, please consider if it's suitable for your own investment objectives, financial situation, and risk tolerance. To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.